I get asked this question all the time. How do I create subject lines that get more people to open my emails? Well, there's actually an art to creating a great subject line that gets people to actually open your emails and to start engaging with your content. So you want to know what it is? Keep watching to find out. Hello, I'm Emiley and welcome to my channel. I'm a brand and content strategist and love helping small businesses like yours build their brand online. So if you're creating all this amazing content for your social media and website, blog, and all that sort of stuff, you need to get involved in email marketing because email is a great way to build this relationship with your customers in a way that's actually really personal, and it's developing a strong bond by showing up consistently in their mailbox. So I know email marketing is not as sexy as Instagram, but it should be because it is much better for most businesses at converting to sales. While there are some businesses that thrive off Instagram and can create that immediate call to action, a lot of us can't, especially in the service-based industry. It's really hard to build that relationship with your audience and get them to buy from you straight away. But email is the answer that you're looking for if this is something that you're wanting to do. If you're really wanting to convert your audience into leads and leads into sales, this is the best way to do it. Did you know that 59% of people say that email marketing actually influences their purchase? So how do you start getting more people to open your email and start buying from you? With a great subject line, of course, which is why in this video, I'm going to be sharing my tips for creating a subject line that converts. So if you're a total beginner and this is all really new to you, I'd recommend going and watching my video from last week, which was the 9 steps to creating an email marketing campaign using MailChimp, which actually has a free platform. So you can get started for next to nothing. So you really do have no excuses not to be on email. So that one's going to be right up there now. So I'd recommend going and watching that one first and then come back here and we can talk about email subject lines. But if you're ready to just jump straight into this video, then I'm going to share with you my secret as to what the art of creating a subject line that gets higher open rates. You ready? It's to create curiosity. So what I mean by curiosity is to develop this feeling of, oh, I really want to know what's in there because this subject line has provoked something in me. It's often something that's, a bit quirky, bizarre, or it's using keywords that are really strong and connecting with the audience in a way that, they're actually really reacting to. So the best way to leverage curiosity is to really test out a few subject lines and get to know your audience. So this is something you won't be able to do straight away, but it's a strategy that you can start to implement and start thinking more creatively about the subject lines that you're putting out there. I see way too often businesses, especially e-commerce businesses, using the word sale and discount in their subject line. And while it can be a really strong strategy if you're not offering sales and discounts regularly, if you're sending out an email every single week that has this keyword in it, people aren't going to engage. They're going to just ignore it, unsubscribe, or just delete it, which is something that I am really bad at. So I am really bad at subscribing to a lot of emails and I never unsubscribe. Well, very rarely, unless they have really, really annoying content or it's something I'm not interested in at all. So this has worked in your favor though, because in this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 email subject lines that work really well and how you can use them as inspiration to replicate in your email marketing strategy. So the first one is a how-to email. So this may be content that you as a business owner thinks really boring, but it's something that your audience is going, wow, this is so interesting, or this is really going to help me with the problem that I'm facing. That's the reason why they're following you, because you sell products or services related to that problem. But it's really, really key to get clear on what that problem is that they're facing and then actually create the email from that. So this email is from HowTo Skincare. So they are a natural skincare company. This is their subject line, which is fantastic. So dull, thirsty skin, time to transform maze. So it's already giving an inkling to being like, oh, okay, this is going to be some sort of tutorial, or you're going to teach me something, because you're saying it's time to do something. Plus it's creating that curiosity. HowTo is really good at coming up with quirky words that relate to their products. So this is a little tutorial that they've done, which is super cute. And it's talking about a ingredient that I've never heard of. So I'm sure a lot of their audience hasn't either. So they're giving really great educational content. So the second example I'd like to show you is about how to use questions. So what I mean by questions is when you ask someone a question, they answer it, right? So when you ask a question in your subject line, they're going, oh, I want to find out what the answer is to this question. So they'll click through to find out. So the key here is to get really clear on what your customers' pain points are. So here's an example from Teachable, which are an online learning platform. So my course is not through Teachable, it's through another provider, but I signed up to Teachable because I was researching providers. But can your crazy idea bring you 3,000 paying customers too? What? That sounds amazing. It's asking you a question, but it's also giving you some quantifiable evidence that people are making really great sales through their platform. Then they go into, asking a few questions and, talking about how you can start to get lots of customers like Deborah has. So they're given a little bit of a case study in there as well. So another great example is using scarcity. So scarcity makes people feel like they're going to miss out on something. So using terms like last days or 24 hours only or last chance to get whatever it is that you're promoting, this will make them feel like, oh, I better jump on this because it's going to be ending really soon. So I really like how Temple & Webster have created this subject line. It's super, super simple. Ends tomorrow. Hurry. So rather than saying our sale ends tomorrow or our competition or whatever it is ends tomorrow, hurry has way more urgency. It makes me go, ooh, I better jump on this. What is it about? Like it creates that curiosity and intrigue. So Temple & Webster are a homeware store, online homeware store. So they've got some sales or whatever. They pretty much do sales all the time, but it was this particular one that I thought their subject line had such great urgency and it made me feel like I was missing out on something if I didn't click through. So the fourth idea I want to share is case studies. So this could either come from you personally, so you've created a technique or a strategy that has helped you in your business or your life and you want to share that with your audience, or it could be a case study about your customers. So say you're an organic skincare company, it could be your customers have had an amazing result with your skincare, whether it's gotten rid of the acne or whatever it is. But getting really clear on sharing really detailed how your product or service has helped them makes people think that, wow, there's proof that this product or service actually works. So this subject line, 3 stories of real entrepreneurs who successfully married memberships and courses. So Amy Porterfield is an online course provider. She does courses on webinars. She does courses on courses and building a list. So this particular one, she's wanting to promote how memberships are a great asset if you've got a course. So this is actually a promo for her podcast. It's not a promo for her products. So it's a nice, valuable piece of content that she's sharing with us. But the whole idea of 3 stories of real entrepreneurs creates that intrigue of going, I'm an entrepreneur. These are 3 stories of real people. I've got to hear this. And the 5th example is clickbait. So clickbait has received a bad rap with good reason because sites like Upworthy or the Good List are all about creating subject lines that make you go, oh, I want to find out. And then you read the article and it's got nothing to do with what their subject line was about, especially when it's about celebrity stuff, which is really interesting. But taking the idea of what clickbait is meant to do, so it's supposed to create that intrigue and need for finding out more information. So I would love to show you an example of a way that I think this is working really well. But it's really important to understand that you don't want to do this every single time, just mix them in here and there. So I think this clickbait is fantastic. So it's by Redbubble, which I think they sell random products online. So stuff you'll like based on the stuff you've liked. Thanks, science. So it's like, oh, I really want to find out what is the stuff that I'll like based on the stuff I've liked. It's a really interesting one because obviously they can see what I've looked at on their site or what I've purchased, and then they've created this email based on what they think I'd like, which, let's be honest, I don't like any of those things, but it got me to click on the email. But I want to also show you this example of a bad way to do clickbait. Kate, we're so sorry. Seeing that in my inbox, I'm like, what is this going to be about? And then it's just a promo email. And I'm like, that's crap. They didn't actually really give me anything that they were sorry about. I think what they were referring to was I didn't go to their webinar, so I missed out. So that's what they're sorry about. But it was kind of a bit tricky, and I don't know, I didn't really like it. But you can do this sort of strategy if you want to, but I find it's quite abrasive, and it just makes you go, oh, that is not relevant to the content that you've provided at all. If they had have said, you've missed out and we're so sad that you couldn't make it to our training and blah, 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 here's what you missed out on. We don't want you to go away empty-handed. Here's a freebie, whatever. That would have been way more relevant to like a blanket promo email. But that's my opinion. But if you want to test out these subject line examples, then I would recommend you A/B split test them. So a lot of email providers offer this as a service. I use MailChimp, but a lot of other providers do the same sort of thing, where you have two subject lines, A and B, and then you send out a small percentage of your list, both subject lines. So I personally go for 10%. So 10% will get A and 10% will get B. Then you wait a certain amount of time to see how many open rates happen for each of those emails. And then the winning open rate, the winning subject line, so the one with the most open rates, is sent out to the rest of your audience. So I usually split test for 10%, 10%, and then I allow 4 hours. You can leave as long as you like. Obviously, the longer you leave it, the more accurate your results are going to be. But it's just based on how my timing works. And then after 4 hours, the rest of my list, so the 80% of my list, will get sent the winning email, which is a really nice way to do it, because then you don't feel like you have ruined something if you're testing something a little bit different and a little bit out of the box. So which of these subject lines are you most excited to test out? I would love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. But if you're still wanting to learn a bit more about email marketing, then go and watch my video, 9 steps to creating an email marketing campaign using MailChimp for free. So this is a really good one because it's great for beginners to get started. You can start using a platform and start testing out some stuff for free as you start to grow, which is so great as a small business, not having that added monthly expense of having to pay for an email provider as well. So that's it from me for this video. I'll be back next Tuesday with another video that I know you're gonna love. So until next time, bye for now.